Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. So, do you suffer from any lower back pain or that sciatic nerve pain that just shoots down the leg and just drives you crazy? Well, I'm going to share with you 6 exercises that my wife and I use to help us recover and relieve some of the symptoms. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, the power of possibility, passion, and purpose. And we're going to talk about that nerve pain stuff that happens to a lot of us when it comes to just those bulging discs or degenerative discs that happen in the lower back and can just pinch on that sciatic nerve and shoot the pain down the leg. It's just crazy wild. So I'm going to share with you 6 exercises that my wife and I have been doing over the past few years that, well, at least I did that several years ago. My wife is dealing with this right now, and she just started some exercises, and I'm like, I used to do those. So I want to share some of those with you. But before I do, I'm going to just share a little story with you on how I discovered them, and then I'm going to encourage you to reach out to your doctor, to reach out to a physical therapist or to a chiropractor, somebody that can help you validate that you should be doing these moves or that you need to be doing some of these moves. Now, it's interesting. Right now, my wife is dealing with a bulging disc, and she started having these crazy symptoms, which all of a sudden I'm recalling what happened to me 15 years ago. Now, 15 years ago, I woke up one morning, fell to the floor, excruciating pain, could not walk. I literally had to crawl myself on my elbows down the hall to let my dogs go outside. And I couldn't figure out what was going on. And several months of trial and error to try and figure out what this problem was eventually led me to a lot of frustration, a lot of pain, and I eventually went to a doctor who prescribed that I go and get an MRI. And that revealed that I had a degenerative disc is what it's called. Now, I had been going to a chiropractor for several months, and we were just kind of guessing what's happening, what's going on. But we really didn't have the proof until that MRI revealed. So for the next 16 weeks, I started going to physical therapy. And that physical therapist said to me, which was encouraging and a little deflating, he said to me, I cannot get rid of, we aren't going to be able to get rid of your degenerative disc, but we will get rid of those symptoms and all the pain that goes with it. And for the past 15 years, it's been great. Unfortunately for my wife, she has been dealing with these issues. And as she was going through this, I'm like, that's what happened to me. That's what happened to me. So I encouraged her to go and get an MRI right away, but she did kind of the same thing with me that I did. She went to a chiropractor, did some guesswork. It was trying to figure things out, and eventually did go and get an MRI, which revealed that she had a bulging disc, which it's like the front part of the disc of your spine that's facing toward your stomach. A bulge is bulging out of it and pinching or pressing on a nerve, the sciatic nerve that's shooting down the glutes and into the leg, and it feels like knives that are stabbing into her calf. Now, for me, I had it on the opposite leg, and the pain was so intense that the nerves just stopped working in my feet. Well, I don't know if they stopped working, but my foot was always numb, that I walked with a floppy foot. It was crazy wild. So that's why I say check with a doctor. And, both of us have had MRIs, and both of us have also benefited from decompression. Now, she's going to a chiropractor that has a special table that helps decompress some of that spine and take the tension off that nerve. And she's getting some relief from that. It's taken a long time. For me, I basically hung from, I would put my hands and grab onto a pull-up bar and just hang there, let my toes kind of touch the ground a little bit, and that would create some relief. Or I would go to a kitchen counter and I would prop myself up, but I would also lock my feet underneath the bottom of the counter so I kind of decompress and pulled apart on that spine. But it would just be temporary relief. So needed to do some things, and there were some physical therapies and some exercises that we did along the way to help that out. So I am going to walk you through these 6 exercises that have seemed to work well for us. If you're watching on the video version, you're going to see what those exercises look like. If you're listening to the audio version, I will just do my best to describe the move so you can understand what's going on. But once again, check with your doctor, chiropractor, physical therapist to help you out. First move. Cobra Extension. I'm going to tell you the reps, the how many sets and how many reps my wife is currently doing. And I just recognize the moves, and I'm like, oh, I got to share this with you guys. So Cobra Extension, it was 3 sets that she's doing, 10 reps each. And basically, you begin lying face down on the floor, on a firm surface of some sort, or on a mat. Your elbows are bent and your hands are underneath your shoulders, and you slowly press the body upward, arching your back, gently squeezing your lower back muscles, maintaining that forearm contact with the ground or with the floor during the movement. You pause momentarily, and then you lower down to the starting position, and you repeat that over and over as she's doing 10 reps. Next move is called a dead bug. Love that. So she's doing 2 sets, 10 reps each, resting 30 seconds in between each one. And this time, you're going to flip over. You're going to be on your back, lying on the floor, and you're going to bring your knees up into a 90-degree position. So your knees are just above the hips, and you're reaching your arms straight up. And then you, activating the core and flattening your back against the floor, and you slowly lower one leg and straighten one leg, and the opposite arm goes over your head. And then and you're not going all the way down to the floor. You're kind of still keeping that hovered above the floor. Then you slowly return to the starting position, and then repeat on the other side. And you continue that for that number of reps. The next one you've probably heard of before. It's called the Camel. And she's been doing 3 sets, 10 reps each, resting 30 seconds in between each one. And basically, you're on your hands and knees on the floor. So your hips are above the knees, and your shoulders are right under, your hands are right underneath your shoulders, keeping your spine straight. And then you round your back upward and stretch that mid back between the shoulder blades, and then you relax and let your stomach fall down as you arch your back. So holding each position roughly 3 to 5 seconds, and then just repeating for each repetition and set. The next one is an alternating knee to chest hug, and she's doing 1 set, basically doing 3 reps and for 30 seconds each, and then resting 30 seconds in between each one. Super easy. It's lying on your back, putting your legs out they're bent, but your feet are on the ground. And then you just bend one knee towards your chest as your hand just grasps the leg in like a nice little hug, and then you hold it for 30 seconds, go back to the starting position, and then repeat on the other side. Next one's called a bird dog. She's doing 3 sets, 10 reps, and then resting 30 seconds in between each one. This one, you're on your hands and knees again. So once again, your hands are beneath your shoulders and your knees are right underneath your hips, activating and engaging your core, and then raising one arm to shoulder level as the opposite leg simultaneously lifts off the floor, extending no higher than hip height. And you pause momentarily, go back to the starting position, and then alternate sides. And you're striving, I know that I think in my video that I did, I was wiggling a little bit, but you're striving to not allow your hips to twist or to rotate, and to not go so high that you're hyperextending the lower back when you're extending the leg, and just repeating those for the number of reps. The last one is called a prone cross crawl. Kind of looks like you're in a swimming position, as if you're or like a Superman position laying on the floor. So what you're going to do is lay down on the floor, flat on your stomach. If you want to put like a little towel or a cushion underneath the forehead, that's totally fine. Engaging your core, your legs are straight out and your arms are straight out over your head. And then you lift one arm up as the opposite leg lifts off the floor. Slowly return, and then do the same thing on the opposite side. I think Hillary was prescribed to do these 3 times a week. I believe she's doing them every day. But I'm going to say consistency is the big thing. I know sometimes when you're given exercises to do that are outside of what your normal routine is, sometimes you kind of can tend to get lazy. But if you're wanting to get rid of some of this pain and strengthen and give yourself a chance, consistency is going to be a big deal. Now, once again, check with your doctor before you do any of these, but I hope they're helpful for you. I know they were for us. It was for me. It's helping Hillary. And Hillary came to me the other day and she said, you should go on your podcast and share these exercises. So I'm glad she did, so I could do that with you. So also, don't forget, we're at the start of a brand new year, and many people have big goals. You probably do too. Maybe it's health, fitness, maybe it's business, maybe it's career, maybe it's relationships or whatever. But if you want to reach those goals, you're going to want to create powerful habits that stick. That's where people lose a lot of it. They don't develop the habits that's needed to do those goals. So you want to be sure to grab my free copy. Grab your free copy of my Success Habits Master List. It's jam-packed with routines, rituals, tips, and strategies to move you from that chaotically scrambling through the busy day to having a clear, focused, productive routine. You can get that at morningsuccesshabits.com. That's all I have for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. And please share, subscribe, and leave an honest rating and review in your podcast app. It helps others discover this show and get the value that they can apply to their life. Plus, by you sharing, I think the universe will conspire on your behalf and reward you with some major positive vibes. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.